After the infamous Oscars slap where Will Smith struck Chris Rock on stage, rumors have been swirling about whether Chris Rock decided to sue. Let's dive into all the details and set the record straight.
Chris Rock is reported to have hired a major law firm to perhaps sue not only Will Smith, but also the Oscars. Now, everyone knows about the slap heard around the world. Will Smith was completely 100% out of line, and there's a penalty for actions like that. So let's talk about this potential penalty. According to a report, Chris Rock, the comedian, he slapped at the Oscars to please his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, has reportedly hired a top New York City law firm, probably to sue him for that hefty and embarrassing slap. Now, I've heard this routinely, that Chris Rock can sue. MTO News claims that Chris Rock is now a new client of a law firm that has handled some of the biggest lawsuits in the history of this country, including matters involving Google, the NFL, and Microsoft.
Despite widespread speculation, Chris Rock did not sue Will Smith after the shocking incident at the Oscars. Following the slap that left everyone talking, Rock chose to handle the situation in his own way. He addressed the incident through his comedy routines and various interviews, turning the moment into material for his performances rather than a legal battle.
If you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
I don't care. I thought I was gonna die. It was a weird. I always say, like, I have a life like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm always where the action is. We tried to hang out afterwards, but it's like, man. And I remember I was at his apartment, and he showed me his apartment, and then I leave, and I see him out the window, and I was like, that's probably the last time I'm gonna see him. One of the highlights of my career, honestly. I mean, a lot of my career highlights happened on that stage, and he got off stage and we talked and we hung out. He was going to NYU and I hung out at his dorm. I just love the guy. The guy's so funny. I'm supposed to hate him. So on one hand, yes, we're not getting along. On another hand, we party hard together, okay? I kind of want to do a movie with a bunch of black people in the South of France.
The incident became one of the most talked about moments in pop culture, with fans and celebrities alike weighing in on what should have happened next. Many were surprised that Chris Rock chose not to take legal action, but instead used the moment to enhance his stand-up routines.
Overnight, Chris Rock on stage addressing the moment that shocked millions of viewers almost 1 year ago.
Y'all know what happened to me, getting smacked by Suge Smith.
The 58-year-old legendary comedian performing his first stand-up special since Will Smith slapped him at last year's Oscars.
Oh, wow.
Rock's special, Selective Outrage, is Netflix's first foray into live programming. Rock stepping out on stage dressed in all white, wasting little time talking about that now infamous moment.
You know what people say? They always say, words hurt. Anybody that says words hurt has never been punched in the face.
Rock choosing to avoid all the usual platforms and high-profile interviews, electing to spend much of the past year touring new material, often working in jokes and reflections on the slap. Saturday night, he let it all out.
The people like, did it hurt? It still hurts.
Both Will Smith and Chris Rock have seen lasting effects from the incident. Smith faced significant backlash and repercussions, including a temporary ban from the Oscars, while Rock used the moment to further solidify his reputation as a resilient and witty comedian. The situation has become a defining moment for both stars, but in very different ways.
I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I root for this motherfucker, okay? And now, I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. And his wife was f***ing her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this but for some reason, these put that on the internet.
I got into an entanglement with August, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? And who's he hit? Me. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears.
In my opinion, Chris Rock's decision not to sue shows a lot of class and professionalism. Now, these guys are rich and famous and live in a different stratosphere. That said, if I was in a similar position, I guess my thoughts would be, what is pressing charges going to accomplish? Probably nothing except making me look even weaker. How am I going to work this into my comedy routine later? If I take the slap so seriously now, why feed the news and gossip lovers like me with my upset reaction when Will is already out there stumbling all over himself apologizing?
So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did. You know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man. And this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment.
At the end of the day, Chris made a joke at his and his wife's expense and got slapped for it, but the dude didn't knock him out. Yes, Will embarrassed him, but nowhere near the level in which he embarrassed himself. The public opinion is on Chris Rock's side. Why get vindictive and punitive? I'm sure he thought, let me just lay in wait and get the last laugh in my comedy special. We all know Jada hurt Will way worse than he hurt Chris. So the man played it right, don't you think? Chris Rock chose to handle the situation with humor and resilience, which speaks volumes about his character. What do you think about Rock's choice not to sue? Let me know in the comments below. So, what are your thoughts on Chris Rock's response to the Oscars slap? Do you think he handled it the right way? He turned that moment into a rebirth for himself and the end of Will Smith's toxic life with Jada, and all the things we knew about him came to light in the months after the slap. Seems strange, don't you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates from What's the Gossip. We've got more stories and updates coming your way. Stay tuned and see you next time.